This is the Juki MO644D Serger, and I am going to show you how I thread it. As you can see, there are color guides throughout the machine. I'm going to open the looper cover here to show you the color guides, and I'm using different color thread to match the color guides. So first you need to make sure that your sewing machine is off, and you need to disengage the knife. This is the knife here. We're going to push in this button and turn the knob, and now your fingers are safe. So first you start with your upper looper, which is the blue, then you thread the lower looper, the red, then you thread your right needle, which is the green, and then the left needle, which is yellow, but I'm using orange thread because it's easier to see. So we're going to start with the blue thread, and we're going to bring it from behind and into the thread guide. Then we're going to, that's the thread holder. Then we're going to bring it to this thread guide here, and there's two holes. You bring it to the left one first, then you bring it over and into the right hole. There. Then we're going to follow the thread guide. There's a little notch there, and you just pull it through. Then you come and you're going to bring it under and around the tension dial. You want to make sure that it gets into the tension discs. Then you're going to follow the thread guide path there. Then you're going to come down to this thread guide here, and there's another one directly under it. And then you're going to go into this metal coil here, and the blue one is inside over there. So I'm gonna grab my tweezers here to pass it through. Now it's in there. Then you go to the next thread guide here. If you can see that. Then we're going to go up to this thread guide. And if this is your upper looper here, if it's not already set at the highest position, you use your hand wheel located to the right of the machine, and you turn it towards you to get it to its highest position. And then you're going to use your tweezers, and you're going to put the thread through that tiny little hole there. So let's see if we can get this in there. There we go. Pull it out through the back of the machine, and you pull a few inches of thread. Just kind of try to get it under the presser foot. Under the presser foot to the back of the machine, and we're done with the upper looper. Now we're going to do the red, which is the lower looper, and we're going to bring it through the first thread holder to the second, and it's a little choke in there. So we're gonna, same thing, pass it through the hole on the left first. Then the one on the under and over to the one on the right. Then we're going to pass it through the thread guide here. Then we're going to come down under this tension dial and over to this thread guide. Once again, you need to make sure that the thread gets into the tension disc. Bring it to the thread guide. And then it kind of follows similar path of the blue here. We're going to come down to this thread guide. And there's another one down here. Make sure it gets in there. And then there's this coil here. We're going to use our tweezers to get the thread in there. Then we go to the next thread guide here, and then to here. First here, and then up here. Okay, now you're going to use your looper threader. Oh, mine's all bent now. You're going to get your thread. I'm going to pull some slack in there. Get your thread in there. And you're going to pass the thread from the right of the machine to the left through here. So you're going to need to open up your cloth plate. And you're going to pass the thread to the left. Just make sure it doesn't get caught in anything. Now you're going to use your hand wheel, turn it towards you to get the lower looper all the way to the left. That's your lower looper right there. And there's a little notch in there. You can get your thread in there. You're going to bring it to the back of the lower looper and get it into that notch there. Now you're going to use your looper threader once more to get your thread to the right side of the machine. So you're just going to pass it through. Now it is on your right. And you can go ahead and close your plate there because you don't need it. And you are going to turn your hand wheel once again towards you to get the lower looper back to the right. And now you're going to put the thread into the little hole there of the lower looper. And you're going to bring this under your presser foot and towards the back of the machine. And you want to pull a few inches of thread. So we have that. Now we're going to thread the right needle, which is the green. So we're going to come back here and get your green thread, pass it to the first thread holder, to the second, down to the first hole, over to the next hole, and then into the tension dial. Here, make sure that gets in there. Then you're going to come down to the thread guide from under and up. Then you're going to go under this thread guide here, and in the middle here, this is a little groove, and there's another thread guide here. And next, you're going to thread it through here, thread guide here, and then down to here. So I'm going to pass it through the back. Come here, and now you thread your right needle. Make sure that it's at its highest position, and if not, just use your hand wheel to turn it towards you until your needle is at the highest position. So you can grab it and thread your needle there. Pull it towards the back. And let's try to get it under that presser foot. And you pull. A few inches. Thread back. Now we use the yellow guide, and I'm using the orange thread. So you bring it up to the thread holder. To this first hole here. Then over, down to the second hole. You're going to go to the right and around the tension dial. Make sure it's in there. Then it kind of follows the same path as the green. We're going to go under this thread guide and over to the top. Down this thread guide. And then the same as a green, here, here, and then you thread your left needle. And you get that under your presser foot as well. And there you have it. You've threaded your serger.